Bitcoin is proving its worth as a safe haven asset and sound money across the globe, and Solana is ripping. From the depths of the bear market, it's hard to believe the prices we are seeing, but I think this is just the beginning of the next great bull run for the crypto markets. Recent price movements have everyone asking, is crypto back? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to crypto. That's right. Today we're talking about Bitcoin and Solana. Bitcoin back in the news the past few weeks, absolutely ripping all the way up to the mid 30,000s and hanging out there for the past few days. Today we're going to be looking at where it might be going, where it might be headed, and then we're going to take a look at Solana, also absolutely ripping, one of the altcoins that is really moving ahead of all the rest. I think rightfully so. First, let's take a look at the daily chart here for Bitcoin. As we can see, we are trading in this real parallel channel here the past few days. Just a few minutes ago, as of the recording of this video, we pinged the top of this parallel channel right around the $35,150 range, came back down, still above the middle here, but this is the interesting little range that we're hanging out in. I think the path of least resistance is higher rather than lower, likely to retest this red range here, which will certainly prove as a huge test for Bitcoin. I don't imagine we'll break through it like we did this previous resistance here just a few weeks ago, but I do think this is a real turning point for Bitcoin. Based on this chart here, we have been experiencing higher lows in Bitcoin since November of last year. About a year ago, we have consistently seen higher lows here for Bitcoin. So it seems as though Bitcoin has just escaped the bear market. However, according to this chart here, according to the data, we sort of have been in a pseudo bull market ever since the end of last year. It is just now where people are starting to take notice again, especially with inflation and of course other global macro circumstances. But not only is Bitcoin proving to be a safe haven, it's also proving to be sound money. Of course, people are starting to realize this. People are getting involved. They're getting off of not owning any Bitcoin and they're starting to figure out how to get this stuff. Of course, we have the FOMC meeting later today and we have the ETF approval. However, Bitcoin is still Bitcoin. It is a true hard asset. And I think we're really going to see the true potential of Bitcoin throughout this next bull market. Now, quickly, if we look at the weekly here for Bitcoin, we have similar resistance here. Of course, the $36,000 to $37,000 range is going to be critical for Bitcoin, especially on the weekly. But this weekly chart is looking spectacular. Of course, we can see the consistent higher lows forming. We can see the absolute demolishing of this previous resistance. So everything here looks great. And also, if we go back to the daily, we can see that the RSI isn't insanely overbought. It's back down to about 80 right now where we sit today. So this is all looking great. And like I said, I think it's more likely that we retest this $36,000 to $37,000 range before we come back. And if we make it all the way down to retest this $30,600 level. Now I want to look at Solana here. This is I think this is going to prove to be one of the best performers over the next year or so. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Solana break into the top 5 coins by market cap over the next few months. As we can see, it's up 20% over the last 7 days, the most of anything in the top 10 here. A lot of it is due to these recent headlines. Of course, they've had ongoing incubator programs and they support their developers tremendously, and the community is awesome. There's been integrations with Shopify, but more recently, as of yesterday, Solana Lamb's game shift has been announced, and I think that is going to be a massive positive development for Solana. I think the gaming industry is going to prove to be one of the highest utility use cases for crypto blockchains in general. Of course, excluding Bitcoin more as a store of money and a safe haven asset and a store of value, where with these other blockchains, there's a huge utility and use case for these gaming coins and these gaming cryptos, as well as insane degeneracy. So we could see really, really massive price increases in some of the gaming coins that are onboarded here onto the Solana platform in the coming weeks and months. And as we can see right now, Solana is approaching the $40 level at $39.91 right now. I mean, it absolutely demolished this previous resistance that we saw that was formed all the way back in June of 22, closing above it on its first try, marching higher, and now blowing past this previous resistance on the daily and closing above that as well, now well into the $39 range. And if we look down here, the MACD is perfectly healthy. The RSI is about 82, nothing totally insane down on the indicators. I think the future for Solana is going to be extraordinarily bright. Now, that being said, I think it's very unlikely that we don't come back and at least retest this $37 range before we move higher. But zooming farther out, I mean, 77 is the next real macro target for Solana. Of course, there should be some resistance here around the $47, $48 range. But again, I think as people get back into the crypto space and they realize what Solana has been building and the utility they provide and the community that the builders are a part of and the market participants are a part of, I think we're going to see Solana really outperform these other altcoins moving forward. And again, we see these consistent higher lows here for Solana. Really what you want to see. This is massive accumulation going on throughout these months of real big composite operators, real big players, all accumulating down at these levels. And now we can see the spring up and the markup up. Who knows where we will end, but I would expect us to at least retest this $37 level. And now, lastly, guys, I do want to take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, as this is a good indicator as to what we can expect from the larger population of altcoins moving forward. Of course, we're nowhere near the highs here, around 70% for Bitcoin dominance. We're currently around 53%. So I am going to expect Bitcoin here to continue to outperform altcoins for a while, probably until around the 60% dominance level, at which point I think people are going to start looking to dump money into projects that they seem fit for these smaller altcoins. But everything right now is really looking promising for what could turn out to be the very beginning of the next great bull run here in crypto. And as we can see, Solana currently is trading above $40. Outstanding performance here from Solana. Absolutely no hesitation blowing past these critical levels. But guys, that's all I have for today. We're going to be checking in here mostly with Bitcoin and Solana moving forward. Check in for news and analysis. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. But just like that, this video is over and I will see you next time.